gentlemen, please forgive me. You know, intra-party conflict has its negative impact on the general well-being of a political party. Supporters of the Labour Party threw caution to the wind and engaged in an altercation at the domestic wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja, on Saturday. Although the exact cause of the friction remains unclear, reports say the storm is caused by supporters of erstwhile party chairman Julius Abure and a known member of the Obedient movement, Ms. Precious Onuche, a.k.a. Mama P. She reportedly drew the first blood by saying the Abure group disparaged them on a flight from Abuja to Benin on Friday. These are man-made problems. It's
very unfortunate that the Labour Party has taken this boxing to the main bowl of public institutions like international airport. I felt embarrassed because if you have differences, I don't think you should go to the extent of attacking each other, you know, in a public space. If there had not been any intervention, probably there would have been physical, conflict between the two of them. And I think that flight left Lagos going to Benin, and they started fighting right inside the people had to be
in the air
before and during and then after, even after landing. And Abure supporters are blaming Mama P. She is also blaming Abure, so you really cannot tell who is saying the truth. But
and hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned.
Yes. But on both sides, I think something is wrong. Most likely, because I understand the police, they took her into custody on arrival of the plane, and that may mean that in this case, the police should be a third party. That probably they saw the woman insulting her and they know that they had to arrest her. I think we should advise the two of them, the both factions, that, I mean, there's a limit to the way you handle conflict. There should be a process. If your party is a political party that's made up of people and all that, you should at least have respect for them. Because the actions of both parties diminishes the reputation of that party.
It's a two-way street, Wale. It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Why you expect members of the party to do this? You expect the other side to play ball?
Sure, both sides. You know, there should be some kind of leadership responsibility. I don't expect Mama P or Abure to insult each other for whatever reason in the public. Because, you know, it is degrading. It diminishes the image of your party. But I think that what is going on in the Labour Party, to me, is not surprising. That party has been hijacked a long time, though established to cater for the welfare of workers. I also blame the Labour...
On paper.
I blame the Labour bureaucrats who all the time auction Labour Party, take it to the auction market and sell it to the highest bidder. Because people who have been greater beneficiaries of the Labour Party, they have nothing bearing to do with the Labour movement. We know ourselves. I'm part of the Labour movement for years. So how did somebody like, the governor, the former governor, became the candidate of that party, and then we are talking of now Peter Obi, who has never been part of Labour for years. So when you give your party becomes a vehicle of convenience, you take it to the auction, then anything can happen.
You know what he's saying?
There's no ideological content.
Everyday Nigerian would not see anything with what you have just said.
But that's the truth. That is the truth. Because if Labour Party, look at Labour Party in UK, look at Labour Party in Brazil. They are party that is meant for the working class. Labour Party, the NSC is supposed to give the ideological content to this party. Yeah. But how did these people emerge as governorship candidates, presidential candidates? How many Labour Party do we have in the National Assembly now? They have recamped. Are they providing any ideological alternative in the National Assembly? No. When they are even talking about Labour's rights, they are nowhere to be found. Look at this Dangote and Nupeng issue. Have you seen any statement issued by Labour Party?
When you expect Labour to
intervene and take a position. If on International Labour's Day, the Labour Party is nowhere to be found. So I don't understand, why we think that we have a Labour Party that is not actually has no bearing with Labour, and then we think that it's going to make impact, as a major party representing the working class. So I think something needs to be done, especially by the NLC, to give Labour Party a new orientation.
Ishmael, would you say Labour Party, as a young child, is developing toothache too early? Or is it that Nigeria has happened to it?
Well, both. It's the kids. And if the video I saw on the social media, especially Facebook, is anything to go by. I'm a ladies' man, but if the video I saw is anything to go by, I think Mama P appears to be the aggressor. Because in that video, I heard her saying that...
You are not giving judgment.
Judgment at all. In that video, I heard Mama P saying, no be you be Abure, what do you do with Labour Party? Police, they find you they enter aeroplane. The video that I saw, if it's not doctored, I saw Mama P walked up to Abure. Abure was standing with somebody else, I don't know the person, and I saw Mama P walk up, to him to say, what are you doing with Labour Party? So maybe it was after, I did not know if that happened before their arrival or before they took us. So if they fought in the aircraft, probably the video I saw may have happened.
Thank God they not throw anybody out.
Before the Labour. And what they have just demonstrated is a continuation of the contention, within the Labour Party between the obedient movement and the other group. Yeah. Because the obedient movement believe that the Abure group are trying to sabotage Peter Obi's, ambition.
Now, let us look at the Nigerian way of looking at things. Peter Obi is supposed to be the anchor. Is
father figure. The presidential candidate.
And so, what do you think is happening?
Well, I think, to be very honest, in 2023, Labour Party had the best potential that probably no party, no national party, ever had in recent Nigerian history. It's always been two parties contending for the presidential election. But the first time we had a
two-horse race.
Yes, we had a major third force that scored over 6 million votes. So I think it was a huge opportunity. But unfortunately, I think the party was fixated on presidential election alone, not building the party. And they had to go to court and all that. But if they are really serious about power, they should not be in a hurry. For me, in 2023, it should have been a lesson for them to go back to the grassroots and start rebuilding the party. Talking to people, selling the party to them, mobilizing the grassroots, getting more members. But for now, they are not doing that. Not even on social media will you see registered to be a member of Labour Party. Okay. You will not even see them holding ward meetings. So everything is built around Peter Obi. And if he leaves the party, that party will collapse.
Ishmael, former President Obama got to Ghana and said Africans should start building strong institutions as opposed to strong individuals. During the presidential election, Labour Party, represented by Peter Obi, trounced everybody in the southeast. 95%, 98%. So you expected that to have been replicated during the governorship election, but it didn't.
Just like my elder brother here said, it shows clearly that they were not really ready for power. They were only interested in the presidential election. And I believe that what happened to them in the presidential election, they also never expected it. They never expected it, because you see, the moment you have success thrown upon you without preparation, you mismanage it. That's exactly what has happened to them. Because if they expected it, they would have had a better way, a better strategy of managing the success they recorded. In Kaduna, for instance, an Okada man defeated a well-established, politician in a contest.
Okay.
The only time we had such a scenario played out in Kaduna was in 1999, when AD was feeding candidate. The only Igbo man we had in the Kaduna State House of Assembly then was sponsored by AD, Chief Ike, and he won. Those are rare occurrences, So I believe very strongly that this idea of building strong institutions, it's a song we have been singing over time. Unfortunately, we appear not to be taking any deliberate step, towards doing that. I hope and pray that under this administration, we will see strong institutions emerging and rather than strong individuals.
Finally, pretend a primary 6 pupil is asking you, is Peter Obi a Labour Party candidate, ADC or PDP?
As at the last count, the ADC came out with an explainer that before the discussion over coalition started, that the likes of Peter Obi and Malam Nasir El-Rufai had sought permission to finish what they started in their various parties in the build-up to the by-election before they formally join, the ADC. Now, by-election, we are done with by-election now. I think it's about a month now since we are done with by-election. Now, I've not heard anything, from them. So, in the face of the law today, I would say Peter Obi is still a member of Labour Party until he comes out to say otherwise.
Otherwise, while if he's flirting with the ADC, that same pupil, primary 6 pupil, will be wondering, now like this, then they play party.
Because if he wants to join the ADC, it shouldn't be him as an individual. He has to take into consideration millions of people that voted for him. Because you never can tell the ordinary man in Unguru what he thinks, who supported the Labour Party. When he just wakes up one day and finds out that, my prayer candidate in 2006 is now, he feels so disgruntled. And I can tell you a lot of people are not happy who are his followers because of even, it filters into their eyes that, look, he's, having meeting with Atiku or with ADC. So there should be a process of consultation. There should be structures in the world level, state level, where you give your people, your members, information about what you are doing, where you are coming from, where you are, and where you intend to go. But because people, they just think about personal ambition, most of our politicians, so they don't actually reckon with their supporters. If you do that, if you reckon with your supporters, you must be very careful in taking the next step. If you end up in ADC, then what is the fate of people who don't even want to have anything to do with, the people in that party?
Yeah,
it's about personal ambition.
It's also, with due respect, it's also a bit confused because, in ADC, Atiku never left any of us in doubt that he wants to run on the platform of ADC. Now, meaning that if he's going to ADC, so he will have an Atiku to contend with.
Now, has he formally left the PDP?
You mean Atiku? Yes, he has. He has resigned. But he has not formally joined the ADC. But some of his lieutenants have formally joined the ADC. But he's been attending, Vice President Atiku, yes, he's been attending ADC's function. But he has not formally joined, ADC. Now, I'm also aware that the PDP are talking to Peter Obi. So, meaning that perhaps one of the reasons he has not made up his mind about ADC is that he's looking at where it would be very easy for him to pick the presidential ticket. So, where there is no assurance that the presidential ticket is for him to grab, he's not likely to go there. That is my reading of the whole situation at the moment.
And are we not scandalized that close to 65 years as a country, independent country, our politicians have made the business of politics full-time. I hear that in their United States, in their United Kingdom, politicians are part-timers.
Even here, Chief Obafemi Awolowo had his law firm located at Okeado. Bola Ige had his law firm. And I know that it's not only in the Southwest alone. Also in the North, in the East, they were not full-time. Zik, was a successful journalist. He had newspapers that he was running. And the deputy leader of opposition, deputy to Awolowo, was a school principal. Was a school principal at Ekiti College. Was a full-time. Yes, Awolowo, the deputy leader of opposition. Awolowo was the leader of opposition. He was deputy. Akomalafe. Okay. He lived up to over 100 years. Just died not too long ago. So, this idea of taking politics as full-time, it means that is where you want to build your house. It's where you want to send your children to school. It's where you want to get your pension. It's where you want to, in fact, get from one generation to the other. It's like a business, setting up a business enterprise. So you are setting it up for profit. So I think it's part of the things we need to look at in the forthcoming constitution.
Do you need to legislate it?
Well, if we legislate it, I think to make it legal. That maybe you come to, you want to become. They look at your records. So if you are, so House of Assembly doesn't need to be full-time. National Assembly does not need to be full-time. And then it has to be defined by the amount of money you pay to them. Yeah. Because it consumes a lot. It takes a lot from the national budget when politicians see, this thing as a full-time job.
Okay. We'll move to our next story. Don't forget, we give context to all the stories that come before us. The next one,